Watch all of it. This is the story of Cinderella. What do you know about Cinderella? Raise your hand. What do you know about her? Kylan.
She like, all I know about her, her dad died, and
Her dad died,
and she stuck with two stepsisters and the mean God.
yeah, she stuck with her two stepsisters and her mean stepmom. All right, let's see what happens. Cinderella. And what do they mean? Yeah, that's what you see. She's cleaning up all the dust, doing all the dishes. All right, here we go. Cinderella. It says, once upon a time there was a widower, that means his wife died, with a kind and beautiful daughter. Life was sweet in their simple cottage until the widower decided to marry. So he decided he's going to get married again. And now he marries the evil stepmother. All right, here we go. Listen here, just listen to me. Not knowing the ways of the world, he married a vain and horrible woman whose two daughters were just as vain and horrid as she. What an ugly little house, they said. Vain means you think you're so great and you think you're so beautiful. So here they are.
Oh, so that's stepmama.
Here's the stepmother and then the two sisters. Here they are.
That's me, the clown.
My loves, I need you to check your faces, please. The widower's daughter was made to work like a servant in her own house. Soon she was run ragged, washing, ironing, scrubbing, dusting, and cooking heaps of food. The poor girl no longer had a bed of her own and had to sleep among the ashes and the cinders. And from that time on, they called her Cinderella. So the cinders are the little embers that keep burning. So that's where she slept because she did not have a bed anymore. They took her bed.
Why?
So she slept by the fireplace and was covered in ash and slept by the cinders. So they called her Cinderella.
Did her dad get?
Now it happened that the king of the land had a handsome son. The king's greatest desire was he wanted to see his son married. He decided to give a ball and invite all the fair maidens of the realm. So now the king wants his son to be married, so he's going to have a ball, a dance. When the king's messenger delivered the royal invitation, the dreadful stepsisters were overjoyed. Oh, and each was convinced that she would win the prince's favor. On the day of the ball, Cinderella was exhausted from trying to make her stepsisters look beautiful. Wouldn't you like to go to the ball? They said, teasing her cruelly. Oh, yes, said Cinderella. Don't be ridiculous, cried the stepsisters. What would a wretched mouse like you do at a fancy ball? And they shrieked with laughter. So now they're making fun of her.
That's rude. And that's very mad.
I know.
I would be mad if they did that.
Tamia. So she's been working all day helping them, and now they're just being mean. You can't go to a ball. You don't look good enough to go to a ball. You don't have fancy clothes, and who would want somebody like you? So they're being so mean. Thinking that they were beautiful beyond words, the stepsisters left for the ball. Don't be a lazy bones while we're away, they said to Cinderella, and think about all the fun that we will be having. After her stepsisters had gone, Cinderella went about her chores. As she worked, she wept bitterly. If somebody's weeping, what are they doing?
They're sweeping.
No, if they're weeping, they are crying. You look so miserable, child, said a kind voice. Her stepsisters told her, make sure you do all the work.
Fairy godmother.
Her fairy godmother, yep. Oh, I want so much to go to the ball, said Cinderella. Oh, well, that should not be too difficult to arrange, said the fairy godmother. But you must do as I say. First, fetch me 9 big pumpkins from the garden. So she's got to go get 9 big fat pumpkins from the garden. Cinderella brought the biggest pumpkin she could find. Now, said the fairy godmother, I will require 6 white mice and a fine fat rat. So Cinderella brought them from the trap, 6 white mice and 1 fat rat. And finally, said the fairy godmother, I must have 2 lizards. You might want to look behind that watering pail, said the fairy godmother. And Cinderella did as she was told. Wonder why the fairy godmother needs all those things. What's she gonna do, Tamia?
She's gonna make like a big car thing and she can make it in and go to the ball.
Yeah, she's gonna make it into a carriage so that she can go to the ball. With a touch of her wand, the fairy godmother changed the pumpkin into a magnificent golden carriage. And the mice she turned into 6 white horses. And the rat into a jolly coachman. And the 2 lizards into 2 sleek footmen. Oh, lovely, said the fairy godmother. Off you go. Oh, am I to go in rags? Said Cinderella. Oh, silly me, said the fairy godmother. And she changed Cinderella's filthy rags into an elegant gown. And on her feet placed a pair of sparkling glass slippers. Now, you are ready, said the fairy godmother. But remember this, you must return home before midnight. For then all of your fine things will change back to what they. Cinderella promised to obey, and then she was sent off to the ball. So she has to be back by midnight, because at midnight her carriage turns back into a pumpkin. Her horses turn back into the mice. And her dress will become those rags again. So she's got to be back by midnight. Let's see what happens. Actually, we'll finish the rest tomorrow because it's already lunchtime and I don't want to make you wait too long to eat. So here is the beautiful Cinderella going to the ball after the fairy godmother helped. So tomorrow, I will finish the rest of this story for you. My sweets, what do you think this is up here? The prince. All right. Mitchell, we will see you later, my sweets. For math, it's just the test today. That's it. So math will be very fast. We'll see you later, sweetheart. My loves, let's fold our hands.